I'm Euge Valovirta, and this is in the style of ZAKK WYLDE Part 3, Black Label Society. Yes, indeed. On Part 1 I covered ZAKK's early Aussie years, on Part 2 Pride and Glory, and now it's time to check out his stuff from BLS. So the gear ZAKK's been using basically all of his career is a Marshall JZM 800 2203 with 6550 power tubes. I have his signature head here, so I'm gonna use that. And then he has used Boss Super Overdrive and his old MXR overdrives. I'm having a MXR ZW44 ZAKK WYLDE signature overdrive here. It's in the GTOD enclosure, but at least on the custom shop version there's a switch inside where you can switch between GTOD and ZW44 overdrives. Then I have the chorus ensemble on all the time, like ZAKK usually has it, just to it widens the sound a little bit and, you know, especially makes those pinch harmonics pop nicely. And then I have the Jimi Hendrix wah, which ZAKK used many years before his own signature wah, which is, if I've understood correct, based on the Jimi Hendrix wah. At least it sounds very similar, that throaty, hawk, mid-vocal-like throaty sound, which I like. Guitar-wise, well, you know, Les Paul, EMG 81, 85, shaved neck. This is my signature ESP, and I guess ZAKK's guitars are quite close. Okay, so BLS, it's quite simple, the songs. There's not that many riffs, and they're usually based off pentatonics with the added flat 5 note. Tuning-wise, he has used basically 3 main tunings throughout the albums. They are standard E flat, and standard D. And he has used several drop tunings. Your standard drop D tuning, no matter what the basic tuning is, where you drop the low E string 1 octave below from the D string. Then he has also used drop A, where you drop the E string 1 octave lower than your A string. And he has also used a drop B tuning, where you drop the low E string down to B 1 octave lower. The first example is the first song from the first album, which is called Bored to Tears. And on that song he uses that drop A tuning, where you drop your low E 1 octave lower than your A string. On this video I have the guitar in standard D, so this is actually, when I'm doing the tuning, it's drop G, but for the sake of simplicity I will talk as if this would be in standard E. So the strings are D, G, C, F, A, D. And the drop A tuning. What you're basically doing is, let's say if you have a C chord, then what you do, you incorporate the lower string. So basically you have 2 C's, an octave lower. Okay, I've seen a couple of tablatures of these riffs, some labeled like, and some like, but at least how ZAKK plays it live, he plays it like this. So what you're doing is you kinda you hit all the 3 strings and then you do a pull off on the 2 lowest strings. The chorus is basically the same riff except a few additions. So it goes like this. does this kind of blues lick in there, which is in the beginning as well. Then the C part, it's really sludgy, you know, he uses the low A and the normal A strings. Goes like this. Then the solo, it changes the key into B, and the rhythm guitar goes like this. So it's basically like B, B octave, and A. This thrill and pull off to D. And pinch harmonics, obviously. And the solo, it's like balls out pentatonics. Most of the solo, it's just this one simple lick in B minor pentatonic, and it goes like this. So what you're doing is you use the two first boxes of the pentatonic and then add a wah, like in that throaty position. And then it continues with the second box. It's the same note, but I think he played it in here, at least because the next lick is using the fifth box of the pentatonic, so. So the fifth box is and standard, really fast alternate picked pentatonic lick. And wide and fast, wild vibrato. That's basically Bored to Tears. Great song, really simple, like most of the Black Label songs. Okay, then let's move to another song from the first album, which uses the flatted fifth in the riff, and this is in standard tuning. On the album it's E standard, but now it's D standard. This is a song called Born to Lose. It goes like this. And then comes this very Leslie West style, really simple pentatonic lick. Or you can play it here. Okay, and then the verse continues. So it's because the standard pentatonic is. But when you add the flatted fifth, immediately the evil. Everyone knows that lick, you know, classic example of flatted fifth. So. And the chorus, it's really cool. He doesn't play that much, but it's like. doesn't use a pinch in there, which he usually does. So it's without a pinch. And then the C part, the fast part riff, it's another good example of using the flatted fifth. It goes like... Just the Black Sabbath vibe. Okay, then another good example of standard tuning on the album. This is in E flat standard, so now we're actually half that lower than the album. This is Stillborn from The Blessed Hellride, which features Ozzy on vocals. So the main riff, it's really simple. It's one note, and it's what I call poor man's flanger, and it goes like this. Again, pinch harmonics, you hold your pick very deep and then you hit simultaneously with the edge of your pick and with the side of your thumb. Like this. Then the pre-chorus, it's one chord, E5. So the chorus is very simple. Again, it's like F sharp. It's like D/A, so E and you also include the A. And then this kind of A. So you're just using the G and B strings. And then these octaves. And yes, it's like this, it's not... When I first learned this song, I immediately thought that, okay, of course it's E. But then when I listened carefully, I was like, no, there's some disturbing notes in there. So I think what he just plays E, A and D strings open. And with this heavy palm muting, because when you listen to the track carefully, it's like, that's not really... But it's... But because the E is the lowest, it's still the dominant note. But yeah, so... And so on. And then the solo is a good example of ZAKK's use of pentatonics, and he actually uses natural minor scale, aka Aeolian mode, at the end of the solo. So the solo goes something like this in F sharp minor. Like that. So basically what happens there is fast trill with a wah. And it's kinda, I think it's like that, and then your classic first box pentatonic. And then comes this next part, which uses 3 boxes of pentatonic. So it uses the 5th box of F sharp minor pentatonic, the 1st box, and the 3rd box. And a little bit chromatic passing tones. It starts like this. So it's basic alternate picked. And then comes this fast pentatonic. I've seen him do this different every time. So it's just like, you know, fast pentatonics like. With a wide vibrato. And then again, classic. First box pentatonic, and then he goes up the minor natural scale, Aeolian mode, starting on the second box, and he picks the first 3 notes and then does a hammer on the next 3. So it's like. And with the wah used as like a filter, like. Like that. It's a good example of ZAKK's style. Okay, then let's move to another drop tuning what ZAKK uses. So he drops the E string 1 octave lower than B. So it's like. Like that. So you have to really use your ear to tune it, because if you tune with a tuner, it most likely will go sharp when you hit it. Genocide Junkies uses this kind of tuning. So let's go through the song. So the first riff, I've seen him play it a little bit differently from time to time, but basically it's like. Sometimes he plays it, sometimes. Again, pinch harmonic. Okay, that's the verse, and then comes this nice kind of pre-chorus. So what happens in the pre-chorus is, and this is E, but you should not play the low E string because it's now in B. It sounds quite bad if you incorporate the low E string, but so, and then he takes the 5th octave higher, and then it's B. And then comes this. Then again, wah used as a filter, and again the flat 5 there. And the chorus is very simple. It's like, and you do a slide and a little bit vibrato, octave higher. Then the C part is pretty cool. It's like. This is like the normal 5 power chord, but it's not because of the tuning. It's actually more wider. It's really cool, you know, by changing just the low E string you can get different kind of sounds and riffs. Okay, and then the solo part, it's like it's just so it's basically like E, D, and then this riff. And what ZAKK plays there, he follows the chords with the pentatonic, basically first box. So you could play the solo just by using like E pentatonic, but he switches from E, and then when the chord switches to D, he switches to D pentatonic. The first lick is like this, so first E minor. Classic lick, so first, and then to D, and then comes this really fast, kind of like Dorian slash, well, it's basically Dorian lick with added flat fifth notes, so it's like and sometimes the end is here with a wah, so it's like. So what's happening there is like you pick every third note, like that. I've seen him play different licks, but the idea is the, you know, Dorian blues. Really fast. And then he uses kind of like, you know, Eddie Van Halen. Again, first E. And with a wah. Then he ends the solo with just a simple trill lick, again following the E and D chords like. Okay, then let's move into your standard rap tuning. Next example is Super Terrorizer from Stronger Than Death. On the album the song is in standard drop D, so standard E and drop D. But for this example, again, since this is in D standard, it's actually drop C. And again, the lick is based on pentatonic minor, but he uses a lot of those chromatic passing tones, like the added fifth. So the main lick goes like this. And again, a lot of pinch harmonics. So it's like added flat fifth. So it's flatted fifth, and then this is actually from a natural minor scale. And then he ends up with this octave. You mute the A string with your little finger. And it ends like. And then comes this rake here, and then it's pretty cool. Then the verse, it's again, you know, So a lot of chromatic passing tones, great song, and again an example how you can make your riffs and how ZAKK makes BLS riffs more evil by adding the flatted fifth. Okay, then the last example is Suicide Messiah from Mafia, and this actually doesn't use the flat fifth, but it's still heavy as really simple song, basically 3 chords. Uses the classic 0-3-5. So the main riff is like this. And then the chorus, it goes. Suicide Messiah. And so on. That's basically the song. This proves that you don't have to have millions of notes and stuff to make a great song and a great riffs. Then the solo, there's actually 2 chords more. So the solo goes like. So behind like that, and then the ending is. And what ZAKK uses in the solo, because it's in B minor, so he uses B minor pentatonic. First lick from the solo is like this. So the 4th box of B minor pentatonic. And then your classic D minor pentatonic lick, because here, so it's. So again, it's the first 2 boxes of D minor pentatonic. And again, the flatted fifth. And then again. Then he uses 1st and 4th boxes of pentatonic for this. So it's played with a wah, so it's like. Slowly it's like. Not tremolo picking like. And then the end, it's really simple tapping lick, because the chords at the end of the solo are like. So ZAKK basically follows these chords by doing. So he just follows the chords, because this is the same note than here, just octave higher. And with a wah. And then this bend, you basically bend your high E string here, and then you need to grab the B string under your fingertips like that. So you get this growl, and with the wah it's like... It's kind of ugly, but fits really well. So those were 6 examples of Black Label sided riffs, solos, ZAKK's playing on BLS that I think covers pretty well what he does. So it's a pentatonic riffing with the added flat fifth, pentatonic soloing with the added flat fifth and chromatic passing tones, Dorian, and occasionally natural minor mode, Aeolian mode, and wah used as a filter, like not waka waka, but just to highlight and make it more aggressive. And you know, those of you who have followed me probably doesn't come as a surprise that ZAKK WYLDE is one of my all-time favorite guitar players. Yeah, hey, hopefully this was interesting and informative, and maybe you got some ideas to your own playing. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.